So, for those of you who are living under a rock, Florida State played one of the best games that any team has played all season. They blew out Virginia at home. I think it was 81 to 60. So, without further ado, I want to take a look at some of the important plays and some of the important things Florida State did well to take advantage of Virginia and their stout defense. So, here's the first thing I want to show, and Raekwon Gray just had a day. I mean, what do you do against that? Just he uses his body. He gets down in the paint, and he makes a contested layup. So this next play is textbook on how to beat Virginia's defense. So here you see at the beginning of this play, you see a ball screen is set. It just got done being set, so this, I think it's Osborne, sets a screen here, and the ball handler's going over the top. And Virginia does this thing called hard hedging. So in hard hedging, this center, the guy that's covering the ball screen, comes out hard and tries to stop any sort of dribble penetration by the ball handler. That means that there has to be someone that carries this roll man. So the roll man is here. So the defense has to have someone called a tag man. So this is the tag man. He has to leave his man to cover the roll man. And Florida State sees this. They do a good job, and they hit. Look how open Raekwon Gray is here. Good vision by Anthony Polite. Great play. Textbook. So throughout the game, Florida State did a really good job of being handsy. That's a good example of it. Here, Raekwon Gray just gets his hand in on Hauser while he's got the ball in the paint. And you want to be able to get Virginia in transition opportunities where they can't set up their defense. So on this play, I just want to show you that Virginia did have a game plan, but Florida State covered it pretty well. So Florida State does what's called denial defense. That means one pass off the ball, this guy's kind of coming up into the passing lanes. Or when you see Virginia on the other side, they play a pack line, which is more of a help side defense, which means this guy would be kind of closer to the paint and trying to help on any penetration. Florida State's denying off ball. And the downside to that is that if you're too aggressive in this denial, like Polite is right here, it opens up these backdoor cutting lanes. Pretty much any team that's prepared against Florida State is going to be looking for these. But the hope is that Florida State has guys that can protect the rim on the backside. So here, Virginia's guy probably should have passed it out and looked for an open three on the other side, but instead he tried to get an easy layup against our rim protection. So this next play, I kind of want to show this because I feel like Florida State didn't take advantage of this enough. This is almost a foot height difference between Kihei Clark and Scotty Barnes, and so him taking it in the paint, there's really nothing Kihei Clark can do. Unfortunately, he doesn't make the shot here, but he gets the rebound because, he's got a foot on him. So here's another example of just good basketball. This is probably my favorite play of the night. So remember the clip I showed earlier of Raekwon Gray just dominating someone in the paint, just using his size to get a good look. Here, their backup center, this guy right here, he closes into double, which is what he's taught to do, but I think he closes in a little bit too soon. Raekwon Gray does a good job of seeing that he's left his man early and getting a good look under the basket. This is just textbook basketball when they decide to double in the post. So this play, I just wanted to show that there were so many clips I could have shown of MJ Walker just hitting shot after shot. But that really, in contrast to what I showed you earlier, look at their defenders, right? You got two people with their feet in the paint. These guys are about a foot away from the paint. Florida State would be up here close to the passing lanes. They're playing pack line. But when you start making shots like this, it makes it harder to stay here and stay committed to keeping people out of the paint. So it's big time to be able to hit shots against pack line teams. So I just want to show that, Florida State wasn't the only team that scored, and Virginia got some points, but Florida State did a good job of making them work. So on this initial dribble penetration, Raekwon Gray helps off ball, which leaves this guy open on like a little boomerang pass. But Gray does a good job of recovering, and that means that Walden Tensei, the Virginia shooter here, has to be kind of falling to his side as he shoots the ball. That's just a good contest. And Florida State really did make Virginia work hard for their points. So this is another example of good vision. Scotty Barnes takes the ball in the paint. You can see that there's this aggressive help that's kind of a trademark of Virginia's defense, and it just leaves Malik Osborne wide open. For whatever reason, Malik hasn't been as good at shooting the three this year as he was last year. I'm hoping that recovers for him because it's a great weapon to have a stretch five on the floor that can shoot like that. So at the start of the second half, you can see Virginia really decided to put the ball in Kihei Clark's hands. This is called a ball screen denial. So the ball screen's being set here by Jay Huff, and instead of taking the ball screen, he denies it. And you can see that Raekwon Evans kind of leans into the ball screen a little bit, and that gives a free lane for Kihei Clark. And we don't have anybody quick enough to really defend someone like that. So you have to rely on your backside help. And here's an example of what happens when you do rely on your backside help and someone who's as good as Kihei Clark has the ball in his hands. He is a special ball player. So we, of course, can't keep up with him. Scotty Barnes isn't quick enough to, no fault of his own. It's just the acceleration isn't there for a 6'9" guy versus a 5'10" guy. And so we're helping on the backside. And when you crash this hard, it leaves shooters open. This is textbook offense by Virginia. There's nothing necessarily we're doing wrong. I don't think Calhoun needs to be helping this aggressively. Usually it's the bottom defender that comes and helps. I think he's being just a little bit too aggressive here, and he should probably be out on these shooters, kind of trying to take the first pass out to give Raekwon Gray time to recover, but he doesn't, and so it leaves them with an open shot. So Florida State, as you can see, was down. Well, not down, but Virginia had just gone a 12-0 run. And so this is the first bucket that really started to turn things back around for the Seminoles. So here you can see they're setting a double screen here, and Scotty Barnes is coming around the double screen. And like I said earlier, Jay Huff, who is the Virginia center, is going to come out and hard hedge. So he's going to try to meet Scotty Barnes. And what Scotty does that's really special here is he does a good job of making sure that Jay Huff stays out on him as long as possible. Right? He drags Huff along the three-point line. And the longer he can do that, the more it makes the tag man that I pointed out earlier, this guy right here, look how fully committed he is to the roll guy. So that means that we have Calhoun out here on the corner, wide open, and this is great vision to be able to see this and deliver a pass. So again, I want to show you that Scotty Barnes did a good job, just like Raekwon Gray, of really pressuring their defense when they got one-on-one scenarios. I liked this little movement against them. You kind of, the dribble handoff action, the side-to-side action, you can see that Virginia is more spread out than they would normally be. There's really no one in this paint that would normally be there. And so that kind of opens up a lane for Scotty to get a good look. Well, maybe not the best look, but he made it anyways. Yeah, see, they're just, at this point in the game, Virginia was so worried about the shooting. This is very uncharacteristic for them to have all of their guys not looking at the ball, but looking at their man. Florida State just when you're driving and making shots, there's not much anybody can do against you. And then here, once you start driving, the defense has to respect it, has to collapse. They can't give 2 easy points, and it leaves Calhoun open on the outside here. So another great play by Scotty Barnes. So at this point in the game, when Florida State kind of started getting on their own little run, with about 10 minutes left in the second half, Virginia started pressing on offense and started making uncharacteristic mistakes. So this is kind of what you have to do against someone like Kihei Clark, who's beating you as a point guard. He does a good job of getting to the paint, but since Florida State is so long and has collapsed so hard, they deflected the ball, got an easy steal, and again forced Virginia into a transition defense. And MJ Walker's not going to miss that shot. So at this point in time, Balsa Koprivica decided that he's matched up against one of the better centers in the country, Jay Huff, right here. He's another 7-footer. He's got more experience than Balsa. He's a good shooter. He does everything well. He's been in Tony Bennett's system for a minute now. So he knows how to play defense. He knows how to play offense. He's one of the better all-around players in the ACC. And Balsa decides he wants to show him what it looks like. So Balsa first hits this outside shot here off the dribble. And then they actually set a down screen for Balsa. So you normally do this for shooters. And he's coming off this down screen. And I think they just said, we've got a lead. Show him what you have, Balsa. And with a hand in his face, he hits a 3. So I think that's his first 3 of his career. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so this is another example where I think they did a good job of spreading out Virginia's defense. I just did something weird here. And so it went away. So they get this motion going when they bring the ball up the court. This is going to space out Virginia's defense. So these guys are going to have to respect following their man with the way that we're shooting the ball. So that opens up the paint. And then Balsa is going to do this little thing where he does what's called a duck in, where he basically just boxes out this defender to keep him from being able to protect the rim. So this is something Gonzaga does a lot of. But look, just that little box out here really opens up this lane and gives a good look for MJ Walker. So that's a well designed little play there. Here it is in full speed. Good look. So Raekwon Gray just being ridiculous. Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to make that shot. And we're back to the beginning. So I just thought that was a great game. I thought it'd be a worthwhile venture to kind of look at some of the key plays, some of the adjustments Florida State made, some of the adjustments Virginia made, and this is the best all-around game they've played all season. And if they're going to continue playing like this, they're going to be a high seed in the tournament. They can potentially win the ACC, and they're going to be just one of the more fun teams to watch in the country. So thanks for joining me on this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave comments below telling me what you saw in this game and if what you're expecting to see against Virginia Tech this weekend. So thanks for watching.